Touchstone Energy Cooperatives is a national brand that supports its network of electric cooperatives across 46 states. They work to achieve member satisfaction through partnerships, resources, and services to help cooperatives and their employees better engage and serve their local communities. Joining us now is Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Executive Director Lynn and Doug Miller, Ohio's Electric Cooperatives Vice President of Statewide Services and Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Board Vice President. Thank you for joining us today. Pleasure to have you all. And I know you're in town for a meeting, so certainly something to take some time away. Yeah. So give us kind of a little bit of insight about Touchstone Energy.
Well, Touchstone Energy is the national brand for the electric cooperatives across the country, and we were formed about 20 years ago, actually to this year. It's our anniversary, so yeah. And, you know, the brand was really needed at the time of deregulation when that was an issue for cooperatives and that cooperative model. But since then, we've really evolved into other things. So we help to support the co-ops to become what we call best in class in their community and stand out as an electric utility in the industry.
What impact does Touchstone have on the local communities?
Yeah, I think, you know, over the last 20 years, you know, the effort that Touchstone Energy has made and the services that they provide have allowed us to focus on improving our member satisfaction. So for electric cooperatives, we are not-for-profit organizations. So, you know, even though we need to make a little bit of money to cover our cost for some major events, we are really focused on service. So what Touchstone Energy has been able to bring to the table for us is to be able to measure and benchmark that member satisfaction within the industry, within other electric cooperatives, with other types of utility companies, as well as other industry service providers.
How do these goals and these efforts by Touchstone Energy affect rural quality of life, way of life?
Well, you know, Touchstone Energy Cooperatives were the good guys who came in and brought rural America power, right?
Yeah.
So, and they work together as a national network for purchasing power and for collaboration across the network. So what we're bringing to rural communities is trying to find a way to better improve the quality of life for those folks that live there and attract people to come and visit the community. Touchstone helps to do that in the ways that we support the members with tools and resources and even offers that allow your consumers to be able to take advantage of being part of that network.
And that probably touches on this, but tell me about the core values for Touchstone Energy whenever you are working with your local communities.
Yeah, I mean, the core values of integrity, accountability, innovation, and commitment to community are the four core values if you're a Touchstone Energy cooperative. And, you know, I like to say, you know, cooperatives have been in business for 80 years, and we've kind of lived those principles for a long time. Touchstone Energy kind of quantified them for us and allowed us to kind of be more centered on, you know, that service piece. And electric cooperatives, I think, you know, a lot of people would be surprised at the innovation that we have. We have technology-driven organizations that stretch beyond what you would, you know, typically expect for rural America. You know, we have automatic metering systems. We have the ability to turn people's power on during storms remotely and diagnose problems. So highly innovative organizations, technology-driven, but at the same time focused on the member side of things and the member satisfaction piece.
And you know, you touch on something there whenever you talk about a storm taking place. In rural America, a storm happens. It's a little bit of a different situation than what it is in your metro centers.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
you guys have folks out there that are covering a lot of miles.
Right.
Talk about that and the dedication that you have to those local communities in those times of need.
Well, mutual aid is something that co-ops do well. I mean, they know how to come to the aid of another co-op when the time's needed. But it's interesting, though, co-ops have done it so long and so well that they're staged and they're ready to do that. And when they see that truck coming in with that Touchstone Energy brand on it, they know that's part of that national network. And these folks may have served in their own communities to restore power when there is an outage. But here they come to the, you know, to the effort of another community member. It's just part of that co-op network and the strength that they have. They know how to do it and they work well together. So
you know, that makes me think of something that we've had here recently, you know, the storms that came through Florida. And I had folks across the country through Facebook who were highlighting that they saw trucks from Nebraska making a trip to Florida and help out. So we're not talking about just your neighboring county. We're talking about all of us coming together as a community nationwide.
That's right.
I think you know, we in Ohio, we have stretched well beyond our borders. You know, just this year alone, or in 2017, we went to help with the Hurricane Irma restoration efforts. We went to Georgia when a lot of the mutual aid crews were going to Florida to help Florida. We were able to send 71 linemen to to Georgia to help them restore power. A few weeks later, we sent 42 linemen from, I believe, 11 of our cooperatives to New Hampshire to help restore power up in that area. And then here, March 5th, or actually, even though it's not a power restoration effort, we're sending 17 of our linemen on an international effort to electrify a village in Guatemala that has never had electricity before. So, you know, not only do we reach beyond the borders of our local distribution cooperatives, but we reach beyond our state and even beyond our country.
That's just pretty cool. Yeah. I would look forward to hearing the stories that they have whenever they come back, and also I'm sure it's very moving for them to have that opportunity to serve folks who've never had this opportunity available to them before.
Absolutely.
Well, how could folks get involved with Touchstone Energy? Is there a way?
Well, Touchstone Energy is able to support programs that help our members. So whatever our members want to do in the local community, we try to work with them to help brand some of those events. I know there's several things that Doug could give an example of they've done in Ohio.
Yeah, I think, you know, one way, you know, many of our co-ops in Ohio have been involved with Touchstone Energy is through what we call the Co-op Connections Card. So we talked about this national network of electric cooperatives. We've been able to leverage that national network to get discounts at businesses not only nationally but regionally and at the state level. So for those cooperatives who participate in that program, they can take their Co-op Connections Card and actually take it to a local business or a national business and actually save money. So
we don't object to that, do we?
Absolutely not.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with us. We appreciate your time. Again, we've been joined by Lynn Moore and Doug Miller with Touchstone Energy Cooperatives joining us here on set in Nashville. Of course, they're attending a national conference this week. Stay tuned as we sit back down with Lynn and Doug in our next half hour to learn more about Touchstone Energy's Reset Rural Community Service Project right here in Nashville.